This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brooks Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brooks Bloom's three-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.
This podcast is presented by Tab. Best time in sport with the best app in sport. G'day everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Ads and Dunks podcast. As always, joining me on the line is my best mate, Tazzy Trelaw. How you going, mate? Nice and early this one.
Yeah, it is. It's a great one. I got my coffee here, my second coffee of the day. Super excited to get into this one, mate.
Coffee instead of tea, mate. Normally you got the tea. Must be early.
Yes, yeah, exactly. I don't want to have some caffeine before going to bed. So, enjoying the coffee and nice chats on 3:30 on a Tuesday. Nice.
Beautiful. What have you been up to, mate? How's your week been? What's it look like?
The week's been pretty good. We had a good win on Friday. We played Friday. Yeah. No, we played Thursday. Yes, geez, felt like ages ago. Had a really good win. Obviously, enjoyed that. Went out and watched the boys. Did some more coaching in the VFL on Friday, which was good fun in the box. Thoroughly enjoying that. That was basically my week, was coaching. I had obviously Sunday, my junior boys. We had a heartbreaking loss against Berwick, who pretty good side, top 4 side, so are we. So that was a little bit disappointing. But yeah, outside of that, mate, didn't really get up to too much. What about you?
Speaking of your junior boys, before I go into what I did, what was the video I saw last night of Kimmy? She posted one of a guy having a set shot. Was that just the post-training set shot, or was that something like to play this week?
Nah. So Gak, my boy Gak, he's our full back. He's a very good player. Anyway, reason behind it is we lost on the weekend. You know, Berwick played really good, but largely due to our inaccuracy. So we kicked like 15 or 16 behinds. Could not kick straight to save ourselves. It's what cost us. And I basically said to the whole group, 10 shots, so that we had like 16 players training. If you kick 10 goals out of it, that means you don't have to go do 400s. And anyway, they missed it, whatever. I said, okay, look, because I think only 8 of them kicked it. I was like, look, we'll do a writer reply. And it was Gak. Gak took the kick, and it was like, if you kick it, Gak, then you don't have to worry about it. The boys don't have to run. But if you miss, then you got to run. And he hit the post if you watch the video. So yeah, it was quite funny. He's a very confident kid, very funny. He goes, I got this, man. I got this. And he rocked up, kicked the point. So good humor, good funniness.
That's good. It was good to see. Funny to watch, actually. But my week was pretty similar to you, mate. Pretty chill. Didn't do too much outside of, get ready for the game and play on Saturday night. But I've actually been doing a little bit of my tax, which I like to do this time of year. It's obviously end of financial year, mate, for those that know that. And it's a very important time for a lot of people. So been doing a little bit of that. Interest rates stayed the same today too, mate, if you didn't know.
I did see that. I seen it, me and Eddie Richards seen it as we were about to get onto the lap pull down. So it was good.
Onto the lap. So you got the phone in the gym?
No. There's a TV. There's TVs all around the gym. Obviously, you haven't seen the new facility yet. I'll take you through it when you're down again. But I did see that, mate. You'd be frothing that, which is good.
Yeah. No, it's good. So other than that, mate, haven't done a lot. Just cruised around. Enjoyed, obviously, a win up here in Brizzy. And, yeah, the weather's been nice. We were talking about it off air, but I think it's about 25 and sunny. And you said it's freezing cold down there and windy. So nice to be out in shirt and shorts at the moment, out in the bright sunshine up here.
Yeah, getting very envious of that. I will say, though, it has been, can't complain, the weather has been pretty good. The sun has been fighting to stick around. So hopefully there's a few more days of that.
It does start to get very cold in July down in Melbourne from memory. Moving on, shocking. Mates, what have you seen from this week's games that we just sort of looked at? We were talking a little bit before the potty, but anything stick out to you in terms of the games that was played and any talking points?
No, I mean, the biggest thing for me that I wanted to bring up for basically the bloom of the week, which we may as well get into, the bloom of the week, which
Okay.
we usually start it. So my bloom of the week is one of my ex-teammates, Jeremy Cameron, who kicked his 700th goal. So he's my bloom of the week. I think I seriously feel like it's underrated to a degree because of the era of footy that we play in. And the reason I say that is I feel like if Jezza was to play, in the Tony Lockett era, Jason Dunstall, like obviously the times when full forwards genuinely kicked, a bag was considered 10 plus goals. Like a bag nowadays of goals is like 4. So for Jezza to play in basically the modern era now and have kicked 700 goals, to me that is, oh my days, man, it's unbelievable. Like he's 25th, I think, on the all-time list. Brado will know the exact number, but like he's probably going to play for another 2, 3, 4 years, and there's no reason why he won't kick 800 plus or even get to 900. So he's my bloom of the week. I just feel like it's an enormous achievement. It's really cool that I've been able to, be a part of that journey where I've seen him up close, kick goals for fun. So the fact that he's still doing it, 15 years into his career, speaks volumes of him. So Jezza is my bloom of the week.
Yeah, I like that. I wonder what a lot of people would think. How how they always talk about, how would he go back in the day in those, the way the game was played. Some of the older type forwards that you mentioned, like Dunstall and Lockett and the likes, like they were big boys. Like Jezza's pretty nimble and he's pretty, he's not heavy, he's not light on either, but he's sort of in between. I wonder what they would think and how he would cope with the big defenders like my old man and those players, mate.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, you adjust to the time. So he'd obviously have to put on a bit of size. But then again, at the same time, how could a defender deal with Jezza Cameron now with the way he can run, the way he's so agile, kicks goals out of his ass? Like he's just the prototype, medium to tall forward. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily say he's tall. Like he is tall, but I mean, not like the typical tall, forward Tom Lynch, Sam Darcy kind of setup. So it would be interesting. It's a cool convo to have. It's like, get back to the basketball talk. It's like the MJ LeBron debate, putting Michael Jordan in an era now, putting LeBron in the era back then. So, it's an interesting debate.
Do you want the stats on it now?
Yep.
Give us the stats, Brado.
He's 26 most goals of all time. And we ran the numbers of it earlier this week. So he's averaging 19.29 games per season. So hypothetically, he plays 4 more seasons. That's 77 more games. So he needs 300 more goals to kick 1,000 goals total.
Okay.
In the next 4 years. So he has to increase his average from 2.59 a game to 3.89 a game. So he needs another goal and a bit per game and to play for 4 more years. Do you reckon if you just played him deep, he would have a chance at that? That's about 67-ish goals a year if he kicks.
Yeah.
If you played him deep, because he plays up the ground and he gets his 20 touch games. Like if you just put him out of the square, do you reckon? I don't know how this footy thing works. I'm just a simple man. You tell me.
What do you reckon, Josh?
Like as he gets older, it'll be, he'll want to stay inside 50 more, and it's probably gettable for him. Like, mate, he kicks bags of 7 and he's kicked 10 a couple of times, I reckon. Like, yeah, if Geelong stay good and up there, I feel like with the delivery that he'll get from his players up the field, it's every chance.
Look, I'm agreeing. I agree. I totally agree. And what a luxury to have if you've got Jezza being able to do that, like staying in the square or basically in the forward 50, doing whatever he wants. Like he's a freak. So, it's going to be exciting to see how he's the latter end of his career finishes with how many goals he kicks.
Very good bloom of the week, mate. My Brooks bloom of the week is the F1 movie. I went and watched it last night with Tipper.
Well, tell me it was elite. I'm watching it tomorrow.
Mate, do yourself a favour. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. It's so cool, some of the vision that they get. I'm not sure if Brado's watched it, but we went and watched it last night at the cinemas, only 10 minutes away. So it was a good watch.
Can I ask you, what do you get when you go to the cinemas? What do you snack on?
I got popcorn last night. And we got some.
Oh,
We got some arancini balls, mate, and some sweet potato chips.
oh, so you went like to the gold class, basically.
Yep.
Oh, gotcha. How did I not, Brado? How did we not know he would have done that? There's no way he would have gone.
See,
There's no way he would have gone to the normal cinemas.
it's good to know that you guys are human. I thought you'd sneak in a salad. You know, when you go to the supermarket and you're buying packets of snakes and Maltesers
Oh,
and
absolutely.
all of that stuff, and you're shoving it up your jumper. I thought you'd do that
Mate,
with a salad. Sneak one in there.
I did that on Saturday night. Myself, my younger brother Caleb, and Georgia, we went to go watch Elio, the Disney movie, which was great. But we had to quickly eat our dinner, so I got a Betty's burger. My brother got his burger, and Georgie had chicken strips and chips. Couldn't take the bag in, so I wrapped it up in some paper towel and just put it in my pocket. Went into the movie, gave it to Georgie whilst watching it.
That's wild.
Right, Adsy's going to the shop and getting salads and that. He's not getting lollies.
Oh well.
I'm not a lolly man.
How
I'm
much?
getting chocolate, not lollies.
That's diabolical. You can't sneak in hot food. That's wild.
Oh, my daughter needs to eat, so
That's very true. You do what you have to do as a father.
everything was eaten. Put it in the bin properly, so no issues or complaints there.
What about
You should be
imagine
going gold class, mate.
that's one of those things. If you sat in the cinema next to someone and he pulled out, say, a Zinger box and starts eating it next to you, would you have a problem with that?
I wouldn't.
What's worse?
I'd shake his hand. Round of applause.
Give us a couple of chips.
What's that, Josh? What's worse?
Or what's worse, going gold class and eating the food that's there, or sneaking it in and going normal?
No, nothing, mate. Look, I'm not going to lie. If I have the choice, I'm with you too, Josh. I'm always going gold class. So I just thought
there you go.
I'd give
Don't be hanging
you a
shit
little
here.
bit. So if you're going to a normal movie, when I say that,
Yep.
when you sit in a normal, you're getting popcorn and chocolate.
Yeah, popcorn and chocolate, and probably a what are those choc top ice
Yeah,
cream
Choc
things? You know,
Tops.
what are they called?
Choc Tops.
Yeah,
They're called Choc Tops.
Yeah. All that.
Oh,
too.
how good. Well, I'm going to go watch the F1 movie tomorrow, so I'm really looking forward to seeing a nice. What would you rate it out of 10? Give me a rating out of 10. Best movie you've ever seen ever is a 10 out of 10. You got to compare it to that.
Oh, I'm going to say it's 8.5, 9, around that vicinity. I think it was very good, mate. Just the graphics and that they get, and because it's cool because they've got all the actual drivers in there too. Like you see vision of that you see pre-race and stuff, and the way they've done it's very, very cool. I loved it. And even towards the end, it got a little bit emotional, mate, with some of the stuff that happened. So I look forward to hearing what you think.
Is it based on a true story?
Oh, I don't know. Is it?
Oh, it wouldn't be. No. It would have said it at the start. No. So it mustn't be. Brado will know this.
But yeah, that's my Brooks Bloom of the week, mate. And obviously, thanks to Brooke and the team for all their support as always. But we'll move on now to our tab segment. So, Adsy, one of our other segments that we do week in, week out, our tab segment, we're going to do it with Origin this week because it is a massive game. It's Tuesday right now. Tomorrow night is Wednesday night. So we look forward to watching this one, obviously down to the Game 3 decider. But before we talk about the game, mate, I want to talk about Munster. We obviously both know Money personally. We just want to send out our best wishes to him and his family after the news the other day. I thought what Queensland did as a team was very special for him, and speaks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, mate. It's just such a tough period of time for him and his family right now. So we're throwing our support behind him too.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing but love for Money, and couldn't imagine what him and his family's going through. So as you said, for Queensland, the Maroons to do what they did the other day, very special for, I guess, Money's old man and the celebration for him. And yeah, wishing him and his family all the love and all the best. And no doubt the fact that Money's put his hand up to still play, it's going to be quite emotional for him. So yeah, as we are Queensland Maroons fans, it's going to be even extra special if they get the job done.
Yeah, for sure. And plenty of extra motivation there for the team. So we're going to now talk about the game itself. And we're both sort of talking coming on the podcast that we feel like it's going to be high scoring. So we're going to go for the overs in the total points, which is 42.5. This is our little multi that we're building. We're going to go Xavier Coates, who's had a quiet series, and we think he'll score tomorrow night. Latrell Mitchell as well hasn't scored, I don't think, yet
quiet
this series. and Brian Toto, who is a very, obviously, high scorer. So they're our 4, and that currently is paying $12, mate. So fingers crossed we can finally get one up and we can enjoy our Wednesday night.
Well, we need a big bounce back because my call last week on the tennis, he ended up losing to Cameron Norrie in the next round. As I said, he's probably a chance to lose. So that was horrendous by me.
Yeah, and mine was terrible too.
I don't even remember yours. What was yours?
Coco Goff to win, or make the final. And she lost the first round, mate. So I said she was the best athlete and the best athlete shine on grass, and straight away gone. So I was wrong there.
Yeah, me too, mate. Oh, well, we move on.
Well, thanks to Tab as always. And as we always say, gamble responsibly.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.
Let's get into my little would you rather. My would you rather. I've got some good ones. I love this. Love doing this. Would you rather have a pause or a rewind button in your life?
Oh, rewind for sure.
Would ya? Brado, what would you have?
No, probably rewind. You can you can go back and do some pretty cool stuff, I imagine.
Yeah.
I just want to argue.
What are you pausing?
Well, my follow-up question to my own question would be, can I move if I've paused? So if I pause, you know how you see in movies where people stop time and stuff and everything pauses and you can move? Imagine, mate.
Yep.
Imagine like a big moment in, remember the year that remember that freaking game where that bloke freaking gave it to you against Sydney and you dropped the ball or whatever it was. Remember that? Imagine being able to pause that moment and grabbing the ball, putting it in your hand and then unpausing it.
Yeah, but also if I rewinded it, I could probably take the mark 99 times out of 100 and kick a goal.
I actually haven't seen the vision. I still don't remember. Was it bad?
Oh, it was shocking. I literally I was just coming at the ball. I think Bonte actually kicked it to me. And I should have just marked it. And I don't know what happened. I thought, oh no. Then it went up the other end and Florent or Buddy kicked a goal. I think, geez, you don't want to watch that vision. That's cut me deep, that one.
Well, can I just say one thing, mate? You're 2 flags later, so it shouldn't really matter. My second one, this is a good one. Would you rather win $500,000 or your best friend gets $1 million?
Best friend gets $1 million because then you'd give me some, wouldn't you?
Good answer. Good. Yes, of course I would, mate. I'd split it straight up. Righto?
No, you wouldn't split it straight down the middle, but you'd give me a little cheeky on the side, wouldn't you?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely.
Hey, I don't think my best friend's as trusty as you two. So I'd be taking that money and they'd never see me again.
So you're telling me, Brady, you're taking that $500K and you're not, and your best mate knows that he can get $1 million and you're not giving it to him.
Oh, if he knows. If he knows, it might be different because then it's like,
he knows the arrangement here would,
he'd have to give it back to me. If he can't, what a dick.
Would you rather be royalty 1,000 years ago or just be an average person today?
Be royalty 1,000 years ago or an average
I'm
person
talking
today?
like the level of king or queen royalty or just a normal Joe Blow. Like you're not even you, Josh Dunkley, because I wouldn't say you're an average person right now. You're working at, I don't know, you're working as what's a company? Super Gas, you're working at Super Gas. You're just 9 to 5
you're just working.
Or royalty 1,000 years ago.
I've always been fascinated in the royals. So I'm going to say, I don't know. It would be a hard gig though.
Sprado, we know Josh is going the royalty option 1,000 years ago.
Come on, I want your answer.
I'll just go that.
Oh, that's me would you rathers for the week.
All right. Well, we'll move on to footy now and the week that was. Mm-hmm. Before we move into that, actually, I want to talk about, Adzi, did you see the Tassie renders? Did you see the video of the renders of the stadium?
I did. Yep.
I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, the one I seen, yep, it looked sick. So it's got the roof on it as well, doesn't it? yeah, I thought it looked unbelievable. I mean, if it has that feel about it, get it going now. Like, that'd be cool to play in front of. I reckon it's going to be enormous, obviously, for the team down there, but even for being able to get fans to the game. Like, we're going to have, obviously, a new team there, and they're going to be, backed from a state that has that many football fans that you can imagine that for the first few years, every game, hopefully, is going to be a sellout. So I reckon it looked really cool. What did you think?
Yeah, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I'm fairly sure it had like a bit of a indoor, outdoor kind of feel to it. But yeah, I thought it was pretty cool to see something different like that.
I liked it too. Mate, I'm laughing because I've seen a riddle here, but it's like a joke, and I've just got to ask you straight up.
Okay, go.
What time is it when an elephant sits on a fence?
What time is it when an elephant sits on a fence? For don't know.
Brado, you got it here?
No, I'm stumped.
You want to know the answer?
Yeah, have to.
Yeah.
It's time to fix the fence.
Oh, got him. God damn.
Oh, keep going, Josh. That is the best thing I've ever seen.
All right. Well, we'll move on from Adsy's riddles. And
That's that riddle that why'd the girl fall off the swing because someone threw a fridge at her. They're just not good.
I heard this funny video the other day. It was funny nicknames. I reckon you might have seen this, Brado. Josh, I don't think you'd get this because I'm going to have a wild stab out there and reckon you've never watched Aladdin.
I watched Aladdin before, yeah.
Okay. So there's this there's this Australian, I don't even know what the TikTok is, but they're obviously just talk shit. And they had people send in the funniest nicknames. And the guy, as he was reading this name out, couldn't keep basically sentence together because it was that funny. So a guy sent through his mate's name, his full name is Matt Ryder. So his first name's Matt, his last name's Ryder. So instead of calling him Matt Ryder, they nicknamed him Aladdin.
It is pretty good.
Do you know why, Josh?
Yeah, I think I know why.
Because the magic carpet, he rides the magic carpet. Oh, damn, that was funny, Matt Ryder. Anyway, keep going. I'm on one here. I could just keep asking riddles and jokes.
This is like
you are on one, considering Brad, considering what he was like before the podcast. Geez, he's on one today.
This is like we're off air.
Mate, I always just bring me A game when the podcast is on, and then when it's off, see you later.
Under the bright lights, shines.
Yeah, keep going.
All right, well, let's talk about our games, Tazzy, before we talk about the round that was. You sort of touched on it before, but how did you see the Thursday night game against North Melbourne?
Yeah, it's good. I'm still laughing at time to fix the fence. Yeah, it was obviously wasn't the start that we wanted, but in saying that, North obviously came with a plan, and they were very good. They were very good. The way that they were able to really beat us out the back, which was really hurting us. So clearly there was breakdowns further up the field. That was letting us down a little bit, whether it was, a positioning point of view or an execution where we just turned the ball over in a shit spot. That was probably what was letting us down early. And as we've gone and said on the potty many times, North Melbourne are really growing in confidence in the way that they're playing, and they've got some really young players that are playing some good footy. So they really brought it to us, and they had a lot to play for. As I said, they had their 100-year celebration, and seen that Dennis Pagan rev up and speech was really cool to see. Some past North Melbourne players and champions of their footy club. So there was a lot to play for. So fully expect them to come out and play well, which they did. But to the guys' credit, we're pretty fortunate in the end that they had some players unfortunately go down. Obviously, LDU was a big out for them, who is a star of the competition. Nick Larkey clearly looked hindered from that weird fall that he had in the first quarter with his knee. It wasn't even a fall; it was just kind of like a landing. So we're kind of fortunate in that regard. But yeah, in saying that, I felt like we really started to get on top in the third, and we defended a lot better in the second half. We didn't get beaten out the back as much. We didn't, run skinny patterns and really shoot ourselves in the foot. So, all in all, very pleased we were able to get the job done. In what was a really big night for North Melbourne. But yeah, come away with the 4 points, really positive.
Yeah, it was. It was a good game to watch actually on the couch on Thursday. Like the way that, as you said, North approached the game and they clearly had a plan of attack to go up against you guys. And for majority of the game, it was really good and unreal to watch. Like their supporters were getting around them too when they kicked a few goals. And for a lot of people, it probably was seen as a game that could be not that exciting, but for it to be still really exciting on an important night for the North Melbourne Footy Club. It was great viewing from the couch on Thursday. But moving on to our game on Saturday night, obviously had Port Adelaide up here in Brizzy, and similar type thing. I feel like we obviously early on let them get a couple of goals ahead and probably were lacking a little bit in the contest and fueling their offense by letting the ball pop out too easily. But then we had a bit of a patch of footy, mate, that when we get going like that, it's an unbelievable feeling. And I think we had 50 on the board at quarter time. So, it was 50 odd to 20 odd. And to play that footy in such a short period of time was really impressive for us and felt great. But all in all, I thought it was a solid performance from us. We probably let a few goals through that, probably could take back with some better defensive action, as you mentioned with your game. But they did kick a lot of goals. Like Lukosius, his kicking, mate, from the junction, like 55 out, is just insane. I've never seen anything like it. So credit to their goal kicking. I thought they kicked the ball really well on the night.
Yeah, no, they did. They were keeping themselves in it. He was clearly one of those players, and I will admit, I felt like I still think you would have won the game, but you were pretty fortunate that they were down basically 3 men at one stage. They had one player on the bench, which would have definitely played in your favour. And as I say that, obviously my condolences go to Sam Pepper, who I think confirmed has done his other ACL, which is just devastating because he's he's a fire starter for them, and he was playing some really good footy this year. He spent a little bit more time around the ball, which was great to see. But no, it's something that you'd obviously be really pleased with. They are a good side, quality side. I mean, where are they? They're 11th, but that they're capable of taking up to any side, and the fact that you guys were able to still control the game large parts when they were coming at you must be pleasing.
Yeah, it's pleasing. I think the way, and to sort of talk about them, you said that their three boys went down. The way that they were able to flick their sort of change in game style, like it went from being a bit more contest kicking to short kicking, and using their numbers, and because they didn't obviously have the tools like Byzantini, Radaglia goes down, and Sammy Pepper, who can compete in the egg, went down as well. So their ability to change modes in game was very impressive from my point of view. And upon review, we probably thought that that was a different flick that you don't really normally get that quickly, but they were able to do it. So as you said, clearly a really good team that's obviously probably not where they want to be on the ladder, but they still can play some really good football and trouble a lot of teams in the back end of the season.
Well, you talk about that. I feel like Sydney's going to be a team that, they're clearly still vying for. So what are they? They're 3 games out of top 8, which is still doable, but they're going to really hurt some teams' seasons, because I just feel like they're such a good side. They haven't had the year they've wanted to have, but they really are building. And again, they were super on the weekend. They obviously beat Freo, who've been flying. Their role players, I just feel like, have been playing extremely well. James Jordan's back to his best. I think he kept Caleb Sarong to... What did Sarong have? He had 11, which is just unheard of. This is a guy who leads the league in disposals nearly every year. So I feel like Sydney would be a team that you just wouldn't want to play against, and they would have an inner belief that they could win their next, 7 games, their last 7 games, and really make a push for that bottom 4 in the top 8. So I wouldn't want to be playing against Sydney.
It's a great shout. I feel like they are back to their best. They got some like Goulden, and even Brody Grundy's back to his best.
Oh yeah.
I actually heard someone I can't remember who interviewed him after the game. I think it was Lynchy, but he said that he mentioned that he's back to his best, and Brody was all for it. I feel like he's the footy that he plays when he's up and going. Their clearance work, their forward half game is so important to him, and he can really bring that and give him confidence that moving forward is going to be troubling for a lot of teams. So look forward to we actually play against him in I think a few weeks' time, so that'll be a good matchup up here in Brizzy.
Yeah, it will be, and he'll feature a little bit later in what we do with our votes, but he's dominating, man. I love seeing it because Brody's one of the guys in my journey that I love dearly. I was super close with him when we played together at the Pies, and we often send each other messages of some funny support for each other. So love seeing him dominate.
No, that's good. And the other game that I watched was a bit of the Crows Melbourne game, which was closer than probably what a lot of people thought. But we talked about on here last week that we thought it was going to be a good game of football, and it lived up to that. Did you see the score review?
No, I actually haven't. No.
So Adelaide, Keezy kicked a goal, but he was on the ground. He sort of like chucked on his boot and it went over the line. Like he was a metre out. But the guy, I can't remember who it was for the D's, like swiped at it and it looked like he touched it, but it was called a goal.
Oh.
And it was late in the game. So it was a bit a bit hairy there, but they didn't, they won by more than a goal. So it doesn't really matter in the end. But I thought that was a really good game of football. Melbourne started really well and challenged them, but the Crows were able to stand up late and get the win.
Yeah, I feel like Adelaide are finally starting to get, because a large part of this year, I'm not going to say taken seriously because they've always taken seriously, but it's almost like, oh no, you hear the external media and whatnot talk about, they probably fall out or whatever it may be, but I feel like now they've well and truly earned their respect, and rightfully so, to be considered a premiership contender and clearly a top four side who, mate, I mentioned Sydney, you don't want to play against them. Like Adelaide's in that same bracket, and we've got them this week, which is going to be a great challenge for us here in Melbourne. But yeah, they are flying, mate. They're so good to watch. Their ball movement and the way they can really turn it on in a 5-minute span is really cool. So really, really love watching Adelaide play, and they're playing some good footy.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And it's going to be a great game to watch this weekend. I feel like Marvel, we'll probably go into it a bit later, but Marvel Stadium, the quickness of that play that you boys play and their game style, it's going to be a great game to watch. But moving on, mate, was there anything else that caught your eye from the round?
No, I just want to give a shout out to a player at St Kilda, Max Hall. So Max Hall has had, from a statistical point of view, a ripping game. But the reason I'm saying this is because 2 years ago, last year, the start of last year, I don't know if you remember, but in the preseason, we played Hawthorn. It was in the first unofficial intra-club whatever.
Yeah.
And there was AFL, VFL, and Bevo wanted to play players in the first team to give him experience. So a lot of the established senior players, so myself, Bont, Tim English, Bailey Dale, Libba was meant to, Cody Waitman, we all stayed and played in the seconds. So we played in basically against VFL's, Hawthorn's VFL players, and Box Hill, not even Hawthorn's VFL, it was Box Hill. And I remember Max Hall was running around for Box Hill, wasn't even on a list. And I remember after the game, I said to him, I was like, mate, and he can vouch for this. I said, mate, you're a gun. Like, I hope you get drafted because you're a star. And he remembers that. So after the St Kilda game, this year, one of my 4 games that I've played, probably should say 3 actually, because I've played a quarter in the fourth. After the game, I shook his hand and I said, mate, do you remember what I said to you? He goes, yeah, no, I do remember. You pumped me up. I appreciate that. And I was like, mate, you're a star. And anyway, I know they lost on the weekend, but mate, he's just gotten better and better throughout his career, small career, and to come out and have basically 30 and kick 3 is clearly evident of that. So I just wanted to give him a little pump up. I love the fact that he's been able to blossom.
Yeah, I like that. So, I completely agree with you. I've seen a fair bit of his stats getting around the socials of late, and yeah, he's playing some really good football. Give us your Bloom and Dunklor Award votes, mate.
will do. So my one vote goes to your teammate, Zach Bailey. It's just remiss of me if he doesn't get a mention because he's had 25 and kicked 5. I mean, his goals, he's a very offensively dominant player. And when you boys are up and about, he usually gets a really big lick of the ice cream. So he clearly had a dominant offensive game, which was important for you guys. My 2 goes to Brodie Grundy. As we mentioned before, I just think he's flying at the moment. He has to be in the All-Australian conversation for the ruck role. And my 3 goes to Isaac Rankin, who had a ripping game. He's a special player to watch. So he's my 3.
I like it. I haven't given it to my teammate this week, but I've got 1 vote for Joel Jeffrey from the Gold Coast Suns. I think he's been a player that has stood up for the Suns this year, and he's playing if you talk about most improved, I think he's one of their most improved players, and he's always had potential, but starting to see the fruits of all the labour that he's put in. 2 votes to Tom Liberatore in his 250th. I thought he was massive for the Doggies on Thursday night, and what better occasion than his own milestone to stand up and play the way that he did. It was funny seeing him talk to Caleb a few times as well, so always a bit of tongue-in-cheek out there. Actually, the mic'd-up version of him this week was unbelievable. What he said to Harry Sheasel about the organic food.
Yeah.
Oh, he's such a classic liver. All the boys here always ask me, like, what's liver like? What's liver like? So it's good. He gets my 2. And Isaac Rankin for 3, same as you, mate.
Yeah, no, I agree with Tommy. Tommy's video, quite funny. And what a game he played. I would have given him votes, but then I feel like I'd cop it because all I seem to do is give teammates votes. But no, he was outstanding in his 250th.
I agree. Moving on to this week's games, let's go through our tips. Yep. I'll read them out. So Thursday night. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Wait, where am I? Yeah, Thursday night's my game. Friday night is Gold Coast Suns versus Collingwood at People First Stadium. Who have you got there? That's going to be a cracker.
Mate, that's almost freaking game of the year territory. Can't wait to watch this. I just can't tip against Collingwood. Like, I'm just going to do it all year, mate. I just think there's a lot of 2023 feel about it. They've got, they obviously, I reckon they're a better version than that year. But like they just seem to get the close games done. If this game's close, you fully back them to get the job done. So, yep, it's a good test for the Gold Coast. A really, really big test for them, who would sit in 7th on equal with 6th, 8th and 9th. So it's going to be a good test, but I think Collingwood.
All right, I'll go against you and say Gold Coast at home. I think it's going to be a big win for the Suns, and they will be up and about after this one, after knocking off the red-hot favourite for the flag this year. Saturday, 1:20. We talked about it earlier. It's the Doggies versus Adelaide. You might as well touch on that, mate, before we move on.
Yeah, no, obviously this game was at Mars Stadium in Ballarat, but been moved to Marvel whilst they do some renos down there in Ballarat. It's a great game. And, yeah, there's a bit of talk out there about us and not being able to beat some really good sides, so top 8 sides. And I guess it's proven in the actual cold hard stats in terms of win-loss record. So it's a good challenge for us. Adelaide will play Marvel really well. It'll suit their game style, which we just can't let them fuel. If we start the way we did against North, we'll be in for a long day. So we've gone to school a little bit this week with some defensive stuff, some defensive positioning from all players across the field. And, yeah, I feel like it's going to put us in a good position to really go out there and, just try and establish our game over there early, and hopefully, with a good crowd as well and the fans behind us, it'll be a good day for us and a good win.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this game. We'll be probably travelling back. Oh, no, we'll be back in Brizzy by then, so I'll be able to watch that one. And, yeah, it's going to be a great game. I feel like the Crows, as you said, the respect levels have completely gone through the roof now, and everyone expects them to play really good footy against any team in the competition. And what better opportunity for them than against you guys who are in red hot form as well. So really looking forward to watching that one. 4:15 on Saturday is the Giants versus Geelong. These have been good games of late.
Yeah, I think this round is, I seen this thing the other day about, teams, in the top 8 playing against each other. So this is a great game. This is an enormous game for for both teams. I think GWS. I think them at home. They're very good at home, and it's just swaying me towards that. They had a really good win on the weekend against the Eagles. But just the brand that they're playing, like it's, you talk about the Orange Tsunami running in waves, like that was clearly evident. I watched the first half and a bit of that game, and like Finn Callahan's a huge standout. Like, I'd put him up there as in terms of hard running and really pushing himself in the same category as Nick Dacos. Like he just runs that hard and be that hard to stop. So when you got guys like him leading the charge, it's a pretty scary proposition. So I think GWS at home.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I think the Giants have beaten Geelong the last couple of times that they've played. And yeah, the way that the Giants play is a bit different to a lot of other teams. Like if you let them use their offense and use the Orange Tsunami, as you mentioned, they can slice and dice teams because of the skill that they've got on their list. So I think that they'll get it done as well over the Cats on Saturday afternoon. The next game is Richmond-Essendon on Saturday night.
Mate, I think Richmond will win. I just feel like, mate, my heart goes out to Essendon's medical. Like they've had 3 more, I think, season-ending injuries this week. I can't even imagine how big their rehab list is, but there comes a point in time when it gets really hard for players and, having to deal with players, it's hard. And I feel for them because, so many players are out, and I just feel like Richmond play good enough footy to put themselves in most games, and I reckon they'll put themselves in early. Hopefully it's a good crowd. The only game in Melbourne at the MCG on the Saturday should be a good crowd, so I reckon Richmond will get up.
No, I think so too. I think the Bombers have been stiff with all their injuries, and
big time.
It's probably one of those years back at it and think, how did that even happen? But I think the Tigers would be too good. The other one on Saturday night's over in Perth, and that's Freo versus Hawthorn, which is a cracking game as well.
Great game. Damn. Wow. Who do I think? I think Freo will bounce back. I mean, they have to. But I think they'll bounce back. And it's a great challenge for Hawthorn over there. I reckon the wide oval really suits Hawthorn, though, which would be good for them. But, yeah, I think Freo will get the job done.
Who's won over there in the past? Freo have won out of the Optus Stadium games. They've won both. So, yeah, I'll tip the Dockers as well at home.
Yep.
I agree with the bigger ground because it's like the G. But I think the Dockers need to win, and they will. Sunday, 1:10, Melbourne versus North. Who you got? The MCG.
Yeah, I think Melbourne. Melbourne are playing good footy. Like they are without winning, they're playing good footy. Been a bit stiff the last couple of weeks not to be able to win those games, but I think Melbourne will be too good.
I think so too. I think they're a team that'll, again, trouble a lot of teams towards the back end of the year as well. So,
yep.
I'll tip the D's. The next one is Saints versus Sydney at Marvel Stadium.
Yep. Similar to, what I said earlier, like Sydney will have that belief in keeping their season alive, and I reckon they'll win. I reckon they play Marvel pretty well. So, I'm gonna pick Sydney, but I reckon it'll be a close game.
Yeah, I think it'll be close as well. I'm looking, and Saints have won the last 2 games against the Swans out of 3, and then so I'm going to tip the Saints. I reckon an upset.
I'll be intrigued to see who James Jordan goes to, and if he does go to who I think, which will be Wanganeen Millera. I just want to see how you stop him because, mate, I genuinely feel like you can't stop this guy. And Sam Mitchell, if you listen to Sam Mitchell's interview after the game, which I thought was a great insight from a coach's perspective on an opposition player, it was a really cool insight about him and trying to stop Wanganeen Millera, and they just couldn't. And, mate, he's yes, there's a lot of talk about where he's going to be playing next year, but he just keeps growing and growing in stature, and his footy is unreal. Yes, I know St Kilda like to give him the footy. They really give him the ball. And, you're going to get a lot of numbers, but a lot of the time he makes a really good decision, and if you give him time and space, he can cut you up big time. So I'll be intrigued if James Jordan goes to him, how much of an influence he can have on him.
I agree. It's going to be a good watch. The last game of the round is Port Adelaide versus West Coast at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, I think Port Adelaide, they're similar boat to Sydney. They'll have belief that they can keep their season rolling and they'll get the job done.
All right. The other one of the round is Thursday night, which is obviously my game against the Blues down there in Melbourne. We actually head down tomorrow, which would be good. So looking forward to this one, mate. I know that I actually did the press conference today and they asked me about this game, and I sort of talked about how, like, I feel like I've been involved in, like, when I was at the Doggies at times when, you're under the pump, and you go into the footy club and you have meetings and you're talking about what's going on, and you get that backs against the wall, sort of doesn't really matter. That you just sort of let everything go, and it's like the freedom in your play is actually really challenging for opposition teams. So we need to prepare for this game like it's our last, because mate, they're going to come out firing. They're going to have nothing to lose, and they're going to want to do it for Vossi. And we were on here a couple of weeks ago talking about how we feel sorry for him and that kind of thing. But mate, I'm really looking forward to this challenge because I think it's going to be a massive one for us and really good timing. And if we can go down there and play the way we want to and really trouble them early on, it'll go a long way into helping us win. But really looking forward to it. I think they'll come with their best footy, and it'll be a great game.
No, I agree. I certainly agree, and they've clearly been copping it the last 2 weeks. And you've seen that vision of Michael Voss. I'm not sure if you've seen it, but it was basically lip reading what he was saying to, I think, Paddy Cripps. And my heart kind of went out to him because there's only so much he can do. So I've got no doubt they'll get up for this. And it's a good challenge for you guys. Very good challenge for you boys because, I think back to times when you guys have come against sides that have had their backs against the wall. And as you said, you've probably haven't come with the right mentality or whatever it may be, and you've been surprised from the get-go. So it's a good challenge. Can't wait to see.
I'm looking forward to getting down there, mate. Wednesday, it's a quick week for us. Wednesday. It's our third five-day break of the year. So going to be a good one. So look forward to that. But other than that, I had a couple of other things that I wanted to ask you about before we finish up. Instead of my curly question. Did you see Sammy Layla's guitar thing that he did?
Yeah, I did.
The singing.
I want to know, is that real?
It's real.
Wait, hang on. So that's actually his voice, or is that a voiceover?
I'm fairly sure it's his voice, isn't it?
It's his actual voice, and it's a Zach Bryan song that wasn't released. So it's just like something that he recorded in his hotel room, and then Layla did it, and it's bloody good. It's stuck in my head.
Yeah, it's good as. Yeah. I didn't know he had that in him, which is unreal.
Mate, but the backlash that he got from it, like if you go on there, and the boys were telling me this the other day, and I was like, I'm bringing this up on the podcast because people were giving it to him. Like giving it to him.
What?
For something that, just saying that, I don't know. Like have a look at the comments. If you go onto his thing, focus on your footy, get back out there, that kind of stuff. Like, I'm like, the kid is just trying to show what he's good at, and it's actually good.
I didn't know that. That annoys the absolute shit out of me because I thought it was so cool. And then I was just like, let me be that guy. Because I'm like, he plays footy, he's awesome, he's exciting, and then he puts himself out there, plays guitar, sings. Like, it's one thing to play guitar, that's already good enough, but to put yourself out there singing, and I think it was his first ever TikTok, and it's like gone ballistic. And I reckon that takes so much courage, but he's good. It was good. It's not like he sucked.
I was about to say, if I could sing and play guitar, I'd genuinely be releasing videos. I think being able to sing is the coolest thing ever.
Hang on. I've got a video of you on your keyboard singing if you want.
Hang on. That out. You don't have me singing. You've got me playing.
You were belting out "My Heart Will Go On." I reckon there's lyrics on it.
Yeah, look, well, the reason why that hasn't been released. Yeah, right. I'm reading the comments now. No, don't release it.
What are you saying?
That's just wild to me that people can just basically say stuff like focus on your footy, and it's like some people just think if you play footy, it's just you everything. Like you can't do anything else.
Mate,
don't worry, mate. I've copped it as well for coaching. For coaching a junior side, I've had people reach out and say, focus on your footy and getting back to play than coaching.
Oh, yeah.
See, it's funny.
This is the stuff that I think not many, a lot of people understand, but for the people that are commenting and saying that kind of stuff, like let the kid be. Like, he's just trying to have fun. He's got a release away from football, and he's actually good. So who knows? After footy, he might do it. So just leave him be. The other one
I suggest I want to see Isaac Rankin and Sam Layla duet. That'd be sick.
Yes, that would be sick. The other one I wanted to ask you about, mate, was the AFL mid-season tournament idea. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't. Is this like the NBA
So essentially,
setup?
essentially we play each team once, which is good because it's for the competitiveness of the league, so even competition. And then they have a mid-season tournament where you might play 4 or 5 teams, and you all play like a round robin type thing for a $5 million prize packet at the end.
Oh yeah. Wait, I'm a little bit confused. So you're saying the normal fixture up until round 17 where we've played everyone?
No. So you might go round 1 to 9, and then you have a break for about 5 weeks. But in that break, there's mid-season competition going on. And then you go 10 to 17 after that. And then finals.
So those mid-season games would have to be shortened games?
I don't know what they're talking about, whether it's shortened, but they could be. And then you might be able to play, I don't know, you might be able to play 26 players instead of 22 or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
Some teams might choose to rest players, but at the end of it, there is a $5 million prize money given to the club that wins it.
Yeah.
Do you think that's
of course it. I think the concept's good, but I just need to know, like, in terms of the nitty-gritty stuff, like the minutes, and I just imagine it'd have to be shortened. Like, the quarters would have to be shortened. As you said, probably play a little bit more players, and then, the prize money and the prize pool, hopefully to the players, would probably be enticing for everyone.
Because essentially it would be exact same amount of games for us individually. It's what we're playing now, but those 5 games in the middle of the year don't actually count towards the ladder. They just count for the mid-season tournament.
Yeah, it'd be pretty sick. I'd be all about it, but that's if that ever comes around, I'm sure I'll be well and truly retired by then. So I'll have to play it on the AFL live game or whatever it is. So all good.
All right, well, we'll wrap it up there. Thanks, Adzi. Brad, have you got anything for us before we finish up?
I think if they're going to bring up some of these things to the public, these hypotheticals, you have to bring them in eventually. We've been talking about the mid-season trade period and all that stuff for 10 years. If you're going to talk about it, we'd talk about the night grand final for my entire life. I'm now 35. It's either shit or get off the pot. Make it happen or stop talking about it. They're my little gripes. I do have one question because, tagging's in vogue at the moment, and you talked about Caleb Sarong. I want to know, because obviously, Dunks, you've tagged to different degrees over your career. So people have been talking about Dacos, right, for the past few weeks, and like his team needs to help him out, and there's obviously a difference when he's doing it alone to when his team's helping out. As a tagger, can you tell the difference when a team is doing a good job of helping out a player as opposed to them not helping at all?
Oh yeah, big time. And the funny thing is, in game, like I use the Jordan Dawson game against Adelaide as an example. Like I haven't really fully tagged someone for a long time apart from that game. And let's say the first quarter, it was me versus Jordan Dawson. It was no one else. But then after quarter time, that was a clear focus of theirs for every player that I ran past to check me or hold me down and stop him. So stop me from running with him. So then he'd have 20 meters on me and I'd be chasing him like cooked after that. So it's funny how in game it can change, because I feel like everyone starts a game of football and you've got so many different things going through your head. It's hard to know who's getting tagged and what's going on and who to help and what to do here and what to do there. But after a quarter time where it's a simple message, boys, like, what are we doing? Let's help out Dawson, get him and smash into his opponent. And straight away, mate, had a response. So those little things, they're tough. And you definitely notice it when a team does it better than others.
That's good to know, because I feel like they talk about it all the time, but you don't know what the difference would be, and you don't know what the difference would be if you were the actual tagger, it's good to hear that Geez, it must be exhausting if you're getting hit, checked, and all of that. It kind of makes you feel for the rucks. Like, how often would they be doing their runs and just getting smacked into?
All the time.
Yes. Well, see, then they started giving them those free kicks earlier in the year.
Or that
For
random
not letting the
one
ruckman
to
run.
Max Gawn, and then that was pretty much it.
Yeah. So, like that kind of stuff, you got to be careful with how you do it. But even on the flip side of it, Brado, like you can have, so let's say my team, for example, and I'm tagging, everyone knows that I'm tagging Jordan Dawson, then our boys help me out by checking him and doing all that kind of stuff as well. So it can work both ways. It's just, it's a little part of the game that probably you're right, not many people would know about.
It's interesting. I do have one curly question, if you want a curly question to wrap it up.
Okay. Yep.
And I'm not sure if you've asked this over the many years you've been asking ridiculous questions to each other, but would you rather save one person you love or save 100 strangers? Obviously at the expense of each other. So 100 people perish for the one person you love, or you sacrifice them for the 100 strangers?
Hang on, so what are we talking love? Like there's a lot of, there's a different, like absolutely love, and then there's like, yeah, I love that person, but
how often are you handing out love? I like the guy that gives you the chicken roll down at the shop.
I love a lot of people. No, I love a lot of people.
He's a lover.
You are a lover. So the person that you love most in the world?
Oh, mate, them, 100%. 100 strangers, no way.
100 people you don't know.
But that's 100 people that probably have hundreds of people that they love, the same.
Yeah, but, all right, well, sorry, but that's not my fault. If I'm saving the one person, like Kim or Georgie or Griffin, Sonny and Stormy, like I'm
Stormy.
going.
How's Stormy going? Stormy got a little permit yet or what?
Yeah, we've got it, mate. We got it all done.
No, but you've saved Kim. Me and Dunks, we're dead. Great, and all our family.
Oh, no, hang on. You said strangers, so you guys aren't strangers to me.
Oh, that's true. That is true.
If it's strangers,
genuine
I'm taking
strangers,
the one. Yeah.
But if it's 100 people that I love versus the one I love the most, that's a hard one, and I'm not answering it.
Yeah,
you can answer that, Josh.
No, I'm not answering that either.
What about
that's a hard one?
The person that you love most or all the boys at the footy club?
Oh, person I love most.
You meant to answer it slower.
Yeah, you meant to be look, geez, that's a hard one. Oh, probably the one I love.
Hey, a lot less competition. A lot less competition for spots when they're all gone.
Answer that straight away, mate. I know you'd be saying the 100 boys at the club. I'm joking.
All right, let's wrap it up there.
Before you get in trouble.
Yeah, before we all get in trouble. Thanks, Tazzy. Thanks, Brado. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in.
This episode is brought to you by our friends at Brooks Blooms, your all-in-one landscaping solution.
Brooks Blooms' 3-step landscaping experience offers a seamless journey from design to construction and ongoing care, ensuring your outdoor space thrives year-round.
Visit brooksblooms.com today to embark on your landscaping journey, where every step is a step towards a vibrant and beautiful outdoor entertaining space.